Hello and welcome to sdntechforum. This is MCP for Network Engineers Part 2. In Part 1, we talked about the architecture and component. And in this video, we are going to do hands-on exercise. That means we are going to install MCP host in form of Cursor IDE and Cloud Desktop. And we will install a couple of MCP server. And I'm going to walk you through the implementation of two types of MCP server. One is native Python based. And for that, you can use Python pip or UV as a package manager. However, some of the MCP server, versatile MCP server, they are Docker-based implementation. So I'm going to show you how you can work with native Python MCP server, and if it is a Docker one, how you can do that. But obviously, there are requirements that you will understand when I walk you through the video. So which MCP server we are going to add? We are going to work with two MCP server, and they are all forked into my own GitHub repo, sdntechforum, Meraki Magic MCP. This is a Python-based implementation. If you go to the README, you will see that either you can pip install requirement and run the program, or you can use UV. It's just another way to manage your dependencies, right? But this is a native Python implementation. And the next one, what we are going to do is Network MCP Docker Suite. Here you can see it's a versatile MCP server. It just doesn't give you Meraki alone. It gives you Catalyst, MCP Server, IOSXE, NetBox, Splunk, 1000i. So it has many MCP servers or many tools built in one MCP server. How fantastic is that? All right. Why you will like to follow my GitHub? Obviously, I'm not the original author of these MCP server, but I'm trying to keep the repo in sync so that when you pull it either from here or from original MCP server, you get the latest capabilities. However, what I want to bring to your notice is in my repo, I have some of the additional files or issues because I'm not a developer and I run into issues which maybe the original writer may not have ran because they are very savvy in terms of like Python programming, etc. So I run into some challenges time on time. Maybe it's a permission issues or some library is missing, etc. So I create, as and when I solve the issue, I create a write-up and put it here so that if you also see a similar symptom or run into similar situation, you can come and apply the workaround. So we have, as you can see in Network MCP Docker Suite, we have issue that was 401 unauthorized API key. Although my API key was perfect, but still I was running into this issue is just because the different implementation of Meraki key, what was in MCP server and how it was picked from the shell itself. So read through it, it's an easy fix. And same thing for Meraki Magic, you will see Mac OS permission issues. So right now I was running into some permission issues, which is kind of like a maybe I was not aware about the strictness or the restriction at macOS, which is for our safety only. But then how you can do a workaround or how you can run the cloud desktop as a best practice, you can read through this. With that, the plan is I'm going to walk you through the entire setup end to end. That means we will download the cloud desktop, we will download the Cursor IDE, set it up as a first time user, and then go ahead and add these MCP servers and talk to our Meraki network. My recommendation is watch this video once, get all your ecosystem in place, come back and follow along. So let's go and play the video. Here you can see we're trying to download the cloud desktop, and this is a free. So you can just search Cloud Desktop on Google, and then you can download the right version, whether you're on Windows or Mac OS. There are different tiers. Free tier is good. I just downloaded the free tier, and this is Cloud welcoming us, what it can do. Before we get started, you have to set up your name, set up some topics so that it can suggest you, and then the Cloud code, which is a CLI-based coding assistant. We are not interested in that yet. So this is my Cloud Desktop installed on Mac OS, right? And I went to setting. These are the few setting parameters where you have the info about your account and all those things. We are interested in chat, so let's start our first chat, and you can ask some random question just to initiate the chat window. And you can always ask Claude to forget about this context, or maybe you can just start a fresh chat. All right, so this is my newly installed Cloud Desktop. You can see there are some connectors available, but I have not enabled any connector because we are not here to enable generic connector. We are here to add MCP server, and they will eventually shows up as connector. So go to developer tab, and here you can see local MCP server, no server added. Right now there is no server added here. Once you click on edit config, it will open up the directory path where you can actually configure or declare your MCP servers. So now I'm going to put Claude and Cursor back to back. Cursor is also a freeware. Let's go ahead and open up our MCP folder, the Meraki Magic MCP folder in Cursor first, so that you can see the program structure or code structure. You can see we have environment example, git ignore, and readme file, etc. Here you can see. So one of the file I'm highlighting here is pyproject.toml, and toml is a file where if you are using UV, it has all the structure. All you have to do a UV sync. So if in your program structure you have .toml file, you are ready to manage it via UV. Right? This is my program structure looks like. So I'm going to show you, if your MCP server is a Python native, then what you can do. And obviously the environment example, all the MCP server, they have this environment example that you can copy to your real environmental file and declare the actual credentials. So it gives you a boilerplate that you can modify. Right. And there are two programs running. If you read to the GitHub description, we have Meraki MCP Dynamic and Meraki MCP.py. And what are those? They are just offering you tools. And for that, we are here. Right. So I'm just showing you the Python structure or the code structure. Each code structure is different, but it will give you a feel how to work with MCP servers. So this is the typical structure. Mostly you just come to install.md markdown and start following the steps. So what are the prereq? Make sure you have the right prereq installed, and then follow the step to install or add MCP servers. Within Cursor, if you go to Cursor setting, tools and MCP, you will see initially there won't be any MCP server installed. And as and when you define the MCP server configuration in mcp.json file, Cursor will understand that yes, I have a MCP server attached. It will parse through it, it'll try to make a connection, and then it will show you that yes, I have a valid MCP server available here. mcp.json under Cursor. And the exact configuration goes into cloud config configuration as well. So let's open the cloud MCP path. Here you can see we have cloud desktop config.json, right? So initially it just give you a placeholder. That means MCP server and blank, no MCP server. And when we decide which MCP server we want to add, we have to get that JSON information and put it here. And that JSON information also is available in your README file. So right now there is nothing out of world. You just follow your GitHub and put the configuration in right places. So let's go ahead and follow along this install MD. Python 3 version. My version is 3.12, which is good because you need anything other than 3.10 as per this MCP server. Now let's go ahead and git clone and enter the actual code. So I'm going to fetch. As you can see, it is already fetched, right? That's why you can see it in terminal, but the commands are highlighting there. Once you have the MCP server files available locally, then what you're going to do, you're going to create a virtual environment. And virtual environment is highly, highly recommended because it will not mess up with your local libraries. So always recommended that you do a virtual environment. .vnv is a very typical, and most of the programs, they understand how to navigate if .vnv. So you can name it something different, but I would recommend just stick to .venv. And then once you have the virtual environment created, source it to activate. That means you are entering that virtual world, right? Since we have project.toml, we can work with UV, and I can go ahead and just say UV sync. If you don't have UV available, you can do a homebrew install, reinstall UV, and there are some handy commands like UV sync. So it will install all the dependencies and let you ready to run the program. You can run the program using UV run. So you can do UV run, etc. And there is a Medium write-up about UV on my Medium storyboard. Let's stick to the Python way. I'm doing a pip install r requirement.txt. That means we are installing all the requirements. As you can see, they are getting downloaded and installed in my virtual environment. Right, you can see all these different libraries were installed, fastmcp, websocket, etc. Then cp dot env hyphen example to dot env, because env is where your all credentials are declared. So what you can do, you can copy the example file to the actual file, nano to it, and then go ahead and modify the credentials. That means you have to specify the actual Meraki API keys. I'm not going to show you that, but that is something live in .env file. And once you have that, what you can do, you can go to your mcp.json and just copy and paste the MCP server, but be sure to change the command and run path, because in GitHub you may have a sample path or the author's path is different. So be sure to add the right path, user, your name, and wherever it lives. So once you have the valid path, go ahead. I'm going to add that in my cursor. I'm going to add that in my cloud desktop. So we are working at both the hosts simultaneously. We are also installing or configuring this MCP server in cloud desktop. That's why you see we have two things open here. One is cursor settings and another one is cloud desktop setting. However, since cloud desktop setting is essentially a text file, so we are managing it from cursor. All right. Once you add your MCP server, be sure that you have to quit. Right now, just adding the MCP server is not enough. You have to completely quit your cloud desktop and relaunch it or restart it. Then only it's going to read the MCP server configuration. All right. So I have restarted my MCP, and if I go to my developer settings, you'll see I'm running into some issues. Server disconnected. It's failed, and as you can see, the path is my name and document, and this is the error. It can actually show you the error. What was the error? And my MCP server path is in document, and this is one of the issue. If you are on Mac OS, document, desktop, download, these are all restricted file system. So Mac OS prevent cloud to access those systems. So that's why we have to move our MCP server to some unrestricted location and apply the workaround. This workaround is available on my GitHub channel. So I just applied the workaround. That means I moved the entire MCP installation folder from my document to source. And now you can see we have our MCP server added in Cloud Desktop. How you can run this tool? You can see once we have the MCP server, we have 22 tools available. And how you can run these tools? You can give them unrestricted permission, or you can be a little conservative and say, hey, whenever you want to run any of these tools based on my query, ask me, do I need to run it? And I want to go slow. That's why I have just changed it to ask me every time. All right. So we have the MCP server added here in Cloud Desktop. We have MCP server added here in Cursor. This is looking great. So now it is time to query our Meraki network using NLP. So if you are new to cloud, you'll see when you write a chat prompt, you have the prompt, and then you have the drop down menu on the right side where you can select the models. You have the connectors, and the connectors are essentially your MCP server, etc. Let me ask how many clients I have in my network. I'm connected to American Network APX53, and you see what it is doing. It is trying to get the get organization network, and you can say always allow, or you can say allow once. I'm fine with allow once right now. It's just a little bit of overhead, and then once it has that information, it's going to run another subsequent call. Eventually it will get into my network and give me a detail how many clients are active. There are only two clients active here, as you can see, right? One is a wired connection, another one is a wireless connection. So Cloud Desktop is working perfect. All right, now let's do the same thing in Cursor IDE. How many clients are active in my APX network? And same thing, I can do allow list, or I can say ask every time. Let's do ask every time because we want to make sure what it is running. So same thing what you have seen in cloud side and Cursor side is just we are using two different interfaces, but the workflow is exactly different because we are using the same MCP server here, right? So you have to run a couple of API command to get to the network, and then it will query the client. So at this point of time, you're really tempted to say always allow so that it can run all the API calls and just give you an answer. I wanted to go slow so that you can actually follow along what tools it is calling, right? You can see we have verified the Python-based implementation Meraki Magic. Now let's go ahead and install Network MCP Docker Suite. And what is it? We have talked initially, this is a multi-MCP server in one Docker implementation. So once you install this Docker, it will start multiple Docker container for each MCP server, Meraki MCP, NetBox, Catalyst Center, and so on, right? So you don't have to have like multiple MCP server. Instead, you can just have one MCP server, which can deal with all the controllers. Very easy setup. You just do the same thing, git clone the repo, copy the environment example file to environment, nano to environment, and add all the credentials. Then what you can do, you can either run the script to start all the MCP server, or you can selectively name that I want to start this MCP server. At the same time, you can also go ahead and disable some of the MCP server. Like if I don't have a NetBox, I can just turn it as false. All right. This is the issue I was talking about earlier. You may run into these kind of challenges where you have the right API key is defined, but still it says that unauthorized access. There's nothing wrong with your API key, but it is with how API keys are interpreted. So go through this write-up and you can easily fix it. I have provided a permanent fix here as well. So you can either run temporary command like Meraki dashboard API key and specify your API key and then run the Python script, or you can just declare the API script in your bash profile. Assuming we have Docker installed here, so you can see I did a git clone and I started the container. I have started only one container. I have set up everything as a false, only Meraki as true, and this is the MCP server configuration you have to configure in Cursor IDE or in Cloud. You see the difference. Difference is transport is HTTP instead of standard input output, and the URL is my local host on port 8000. Let's ask the same question here, and you will see a difference in the workflow. You see now it's not actually using the Meraki MCP, but it is using the new Docker one, right? So it's running Meraki network.py command, and here you can see I ran into that API issue, apply cell setting, and the write-up is in GitHub. So I have applied the setting, and now you can see I can run the command successfully, and it is giving me my client descriptions here. So even our Docker implementation is working correct because our API key in environment file is working after workaround. Okay, let me go ahead and switch my Wi-Fi. So I want to connect my laptop to the Meraki network and check this information again so that you know that my MCP server is working. It's like a second layer of verification that this information is not coming as a cache. So Meraki doesn't update the client count immediately. Let's try after 10 minutes. And this is the beauty of NLP. I'm just going to say, okay, try again after 10 minutes. And you can see it has changed the command in a Python script and say sleep for 600 seconds and then come back and run this program. How awesome is that, right? I don't have to wait or put an external timer. I can just do everything from NLP. And now you can see my laptop also became part of client. So this Python program is working properly. All right, so you must be wondering, can we use the Python and Docker simultaneously? The answer is yes. That's what I have done here. You can see I have changed the mcp.json configuration with Meraki MCP server and Meraki Magic MCP server. Okay, so we have two MCP server talking to the same Meraki organization. How it make a choice? It will pick up whichever is like a suitable for it automatically, or you can specify that I want to use this MCP server. Here you can see I have asked another question, how many wireless client I have in my network, use Meraki Docker container, and now I say, okay, use Meraki MCP, which is a Python implementation, and tell me how many iOS XE client we have, all those things, right? So you can switch in between based on your prompt. It has all the visibility. It knows what are the 7 MCP server as a Docker, what is one MCP server, which is a Python-based implementation, and all those things. And in prompt, I'm saying that use this MCP server to fetch this information. And you can see Meraki MCP server can give me this information. Meraki Magic can give me this information. This is working very well. Now, the last topic is MCP Inspector. You can download MCP Inspector or install MCP Inspector and test all your queries from this UI. So you can set an environment variable. It's basically if you're running into some challenges, you can recreate the issues here and see how your MCP is going to behave. So this is all I wanted to show you for this video. I hope you can follow along, and I'll see you in the next video.